Tonight on News 5 Live, Fausta Tech is arraigned for the murder of 19-year-old Chris Rodriguez. The body of a retired American national is found inside his home in Bullet Tree Village. And the Attorney General Ministry explains the new changes to the Judiciary. These stories and more coming up on News 5 Live.
Digi, the premier name in voice and data, is also the country's leading provider of innovative services and solutions for small business and enterprise. At Digi Business, we offer solutions, tools, and applications to support your business needs. Reduce costs, improve efficiency, and excel in a changing world where no idea is too big and no task is too small. From technology advising to design implementation and management, our team of qualified solution sales and specialists can develop a reliable and robust infrastructure, allowing you to spend more time on what matters most, your business. Visit us online to explore how DigiBusiness innovative products and solutions can help your business reduce costs and improve efficiency.
Your life just got a lot less complicated with Belize Bank Contactless MasterCard Debit Card. Introducing our Standard Debit and MasterCard Platinum Debit Cards. Now you can make purchases anywhere MasterCard is accepted with one tap, pay and go. Your contactless card never has to leave your hands, especially in these times. And your card is embedded with multiple layers of security. Platinum card holders get to enjoy extra benefits like price protection, purchase protection, trip inconvenience, and luggage protection, just to name a few. Start enjoying a cashless lifestyle today with the Belize Bank.
Watch The Truth of God with Pastor Gino Jennings of the First Church of Our Lord Jesus Christ every Sunday morning at 8 a.m. exclusively on Channel 5 Belize. The Truth of God with Pastor Gino Jennings every Sunday at 8 a.m. on Channel 5 Belize.
This Mother's Day, pamper Mom with a relaxing spa treatment from the Onyx Spa at the Biltmore Plaza Hotel. Get a 10% off all sessions, such as massages, facials, body wraps, body scrubs, manicure, pedicure, and waxing. All sessions come with a complimentary glass of champagne. Gift certificates are also available. Call or WhatsApp 662-6883 to book an appointment. The Onyx Spa at the Biltmore, where you can relax, recharge, and rejuvenate.
newscast is brought to you by the Belize Bank Limited. Our country, your bank.
Good evening. Welcome to News 5 Live for Friday, May 6th. I am Annalena Polonia. Fausta Tech was arraigned on a single charge of murder this morning in the San Ignacio Magistrates Court for the stabbing death of Chris Rodriguez. Today, family and friends of the deceased gathered near Columbus Park across from the police station, which houses the court on the second floor. Cell phone footage sent to News 5 captured the 20-year-old Belizean caretaker as he was escorted down the steps of the court and into the station. Those gathered jeered at the accused murderer, who has since been remanded to the Belize Central Prison in Hattieville until August 3rd. The deadly stabbing occurred on Tuesday, May 3rd, during an altercation between Tech and the deceased Rodriguez, who is a well-known footballer, was along with his cousin at the Norman Broster Stadium in San Ignacio when Tech asked them to leave the stadium because they couldn't produce a receipt which gave them permission to use the sporting facility. Amateur video captured Rodriguez punching Tech to the face. A fight ensued during which Rodriguez was stabbed twice. He died at the Western Regional Hospital in the wee hours of Wednesday. The body of a Caucasian man was found on Thursday in Bullet Tree Village, Cayo. The elderly person was found lying on his side in a sofa in a house near the water reservoir area in the Paslo Falls community. He was identified as 77-year-old Gary Glenn Kinney. According to Judith Myers, his caretaker, she last saw Kinney alive the day before on Wednesday when she left his residence. She said he was seated on the sofa watching television and that when she arrived at the house around 11, she noticed the door was still open the way she had left it. Kinney was dead inside and there were no signs of injuries on the body. Today, the case of the 7 Cubans who are on remand and waiting to hear their fate was called to order before Supreme Court Justice Lisa Schumann. The Cubans all entered Belize illegally in February and were fined as well as issued a removal order to leave the country. But out of fear of being prosecuted and imprisoned, they did not want to return to Cuba. News 5's Marian Ali was at the court this morning and filed this report.
The 7 Cubans testified today. Yesenia Del Toro Perez told the court that she left Cuba legally by plane en route to Nicaragua with her 2 young daughters. Somewhere along the way, they met up with her pregnant friend, Nurisledis Garcia, and the 4 traveled by road through Honduras, Guatemala, and Mexico illegally. Del Toro and Garcia told the court that while they were in Mexico, they were kidnapped and robbed and then dropped off at an unknown location. They said they later learned they were in Belize, and when law enforcement authorities apprehended them, they were never properly informed that they had committed an offense that would result in a criminal charge and that they would be taken before a judge. The others, Yeleni Gonzalez, Giselle Mendoza, Manuel Fandino, Ibrahim Fortes, Jorge Toboda, were picked up around the same time in Ranchito Village. The Cubans admitted in court that although they have paid the $1,000 fine imposed upon them, they have resisted deportation back to Cuba. They were part of protests that occurred in July of last year after Cuba agreed to dispatch medical brigades to other countries in the height of the COVID pandemic. At the time, the protesters were of the view that Cuba was not adequately looking after its own people who were falling ill with the virus. They have applied for amnesty on grounds that they fear for their well-being and safety in Cuba. They have also alleged that during their detention in Belize, they were not afforded a translator to properly inform them of what they were facing. For that, and their claim that they were not allowed to file for asylum nor a phone call before their arraignment, they believe that their human rights had been violated. In the case of Nurisledis Garcia, the pregnant Cuban, upon her detention in Belize, she tested positive for COVID, and a medication she was given made it difficult for her pregnancy. Aside from that, she said she was denied the medication that she needed that was in her bag. The Cuban's case is being presented by lead human rights attorney Leo Bradley Jr. and his deputy Cynthia Pitts, while attorneys for the Crown are Samantha Matute Tucker and Agassi Finnegan. On Monday, the immigration officers who the state claims did adequately attend to the Cubans will take the witness stand. Reporting for News 5, I'm Marion Ali.
He was among the 28 prisoners who escaped from the Belize Central Prison in October of 2020 and was one of the first 5 to be apprehended near Mile 25 along the George Price Highway. And on Wednesday, DeAndre Gifaro received a sentence of 15 years imprisonment after he pleaded guilty to the charge of manslaughter. The deceased Mexican national Gabriel Guzman Cruz was stabbed to death on the afternoon of January 7, 2020 in St. Bite Village, Sand Creek. Cruz returned to a house he was looking after to find 2 intruders inside. One escaped and Gifaro admitted in a caution statement to wrestling with him and then stabbing him multiple times. In the caution statement, Gifaro said that he panicked and expressed remorse for killing Cruz. Hence, the charge was downgraded from that of murder to manslaughter. Neighbors saw smoke coming from the house and heard Cruz yelling for help and found him severely wounded. When the police apprehended Gifaro later that evening, they found a number of items that had been stolen from the house. Justice Antoinette Moore, who presided over the case, sentenced Gifaro to 15 years imprisonment and ruled that the 1 year and 6 months that he had spent waiting for trial be deducted. This leaves Gifaro with 13 years and 6 months to serve for the crime. His defense attorney was Norman Rodriguez, while senior Crown Counsel Javier Chan prosecuted the case. Coming up, a new building will be assigned to the High Court. And what will the new structuring of the Supreme Court and the Court of Appeal mean for the justice system? Details when we return.
Hello, friends. This is Dr. Bob Roberts with another 60-second sermon from God's Word.
The Bible says there is another serious problem I have seen under the sun. Hoarding riches harms the saver. Money is put into risky investments that turn sour and everything is lost. We all come to the end of our lives as naked and empty-handed as on the day we were born. We can't take our riches with us. According to Greek mythology, Midas, the Phrygian king, asked a favor of the gods, and they agreed to grant him anything that he desired. So with a greedy heart, he asked that whatever he touched turned to gold. When he laid his hand upon a rock, it became a huge chunk of priceless gold. As he sat at his dinner table, every item of food he touched turned to solid gold. He quickly realized his foolish wish would cause him to die in the midst of his gold and riches. He wanted to take the wish back, but realized the gods could not take back their gifts. Thus he begged the gods to deliver him from the curse of his greed. While this is a mere fable, it describes the lives of many materialistic-minded people in our world today. Too many are more concerned about what they can get than what they can give, what they can lay up instead of what they can leave behind, and the gold highway they were promised turns out to be a dead-end alley. Ecclesiastes says it best. We all come to the end of our lives as naked and empty-handed as on the day we were born. We can't take our riches with us, so be careful what you wish for.
Today's 60-second sermon has been presented by Christian Foundations of Faith in cooperation with the Baptist churches in your area.
The House of Representatives is scheduled to meet next Friday. Among the bills that will be introduced for first reading is the Senior Courts Bill, which once passed will allow for the restructuring of the administration of the Supreme Court and the Court of Appeal. Both branches of the Judiciary will fall under what will be known as the High Court. This afternoon, Attorney General Magali Marin Young and Assistant Solicitor General Randall Shepard held a presentation to further explain the proposed changes. News 5's Isani Cayetano reports.
The passage of a new piece of legislation, once it has been introduced in the House of Representatives on May 13th and taken through all its readings, will give rise to the Senior Courts of Belize. A combination of existing judicial systems, including the Supreme Court and the Court of Appeal, the restructuring of the court's administration has become necessary. Spearheading the initiative is the Attorney General's ministry.
The provisions that are currently under the Supreme Court of Judicature Act and the provisions that are under the Court of Appeal Act are now replicated in the Senior Courts Bill. What will happen is that upon the introduction of the Senior Courts Bill, these two pieces of legislation will be repealed.
A new Chief Justice will subsequently be appointed as the presiding judge and administrator of the High Court.
The Office of Chief Justice will be a new office in the sense that our new Chief Justice under this bill will sit on both the Court of Appeal and what is now the Supreme Court, to be renamed the High Court.
As it is, both the Chief Justice and the President of the Court of Appeal are in acting capacities.
They have not been appointed, and the reason behind that is because of this anticipated restructuring. Once this bill, and if this bill is successfully passed by the National Assembly, then we will be able to appoint persons to these respective positions.
New office holders, including senior judges in the civil and criminal divisions of the Supreme Court, the Chief Registrar, Masters, and Judicial Assistants, will also be introduced.
The Chief Justice will be supported by two new positions, which will be senior justices that will head either divisions of the Supreme Court, which are the Civil Division and the Criminal Law Division. The position of the President of the Court of Appeal remains, but as I said earlier, the Chief Justice will now be the head of the judiciary and direct and control the direction that both these courts are heading.
What is equally novel is the removal of marital fault grounds for divorce proceedings.
In order to get a divorce, you could get a divorce whether it is by consent, where you show that the marriage has broken down irretrievably, or what we call fault grounds. And the fault grounds would be you can show that there has been adultery, desertion, cruelty, or unsoundness of mind. Going forward, we're now removing having as a basis for divorce these fault grounds. And so going forward, a person who is making a petition to the court for the divorce would only have to show the court that either the marriage has broken down irretrievably or they could also go by consent.
These changes are being introduced to improve the efficiency, accuracy, and consistency in the upper courts of the judicial system of Belize. Reporting for News 5, I am Isani Cayetano.
The proposed changes, which are likely to become enacted in the months ahead, will come at a cost to government. A new building will be needed to house the various offices, as well as salaries for the additional employees that will be hired to the judiciary. According to Attorney General Magali Marin Young, monies for these changes will fall under the 2023-2024 budget.
We anticipate the costs for the additional judicial office holders to be created under this bill will be under the 2023-2024 budget. We currently have gotten use of the entire 3 floors of what was the National Bank building. The Court of Appeal is to be relocated to the ground floor of that building, and the High Court is to have use of the 2nd and 3rd floor of that building. So the additional office holders, there will be space for the additional office holders on the 2nd and 3rd floor of that building. All right, that's on the short term. The long term is to build a judicial complex in the Lake Independence area. And in fact, the Prime Minister's office has been working on getting a project done to get that judicial complex. But that will take more than a year. That may take 2 to 3 years. So for the short term, we've gotten the full use of what was the National Bank building.
The Judiciary will be expanding the bench with a new judge taking an oath of office on May 9th. Along with a new justice will be a master, an officer of the court who will assist the judges of the High Court with preliminary assignments, including case management. This is in an effort to alleviate the workload of sitting judges.
On Monday, we'll be swearing in another judge. And in the near future, we will be swearing in, before the end of the year, additional judges to assist with the workload in that court. For the Supreme Court, we currently have the assistance of temporary judges who, after their tenure, will have the option to apply, and subject to the Judicial and Legal Services Commission reviewing their performance and application, they too could be appointed to their respective, to sit permanently on the High Court. We do intend to add to the complement of judges in the High Court. But if you look at the current structure we're putting in place, we are creating a judicial office which is a master. And a master will be assisting the High Court judges with their workload in hearing interlocutory applications, so that your High Court judges will be able to focus on the substantive trials. And the master will hear the case management, will hear the applications for injunctions. The master takes up the case all the way to pre-trial, and then the judge focuses on trial and judgment. So with the additional complement of the Office of Master, we believe that we will be assisting with the workload for members of the High Court.
Acknowledging that there have been serious concerns with backlogs in the upper courts, the duality of the Chief Justice will allow for the presiding judge to sit on matters in both jurisdictions, the Supreme Court as well as the Court of Appeal.
We have had a problem with timely delivery of justice in the senior courts, meaning the Supreme Court, to be renamed the High Court, and the Court of Appeal, so that we will be able to, where the recasting of the role is to ensure that the Chief Justice is able to better supervise and to focus on administration and can sit in either jurisdiction, but the focus will be on administration to ensure that we don't have an accumulation of backlogs. If there is any judge who is taking very long in hearing matters, the Chief Justice will be able to have a better handle of the various courts and to be able to deal with those judges who may be delinquent. So we're hoping with the recasting of the role is to strengthen the administration of justice, but it won't affect any cases currently before the court. We've tried to engage the social partners and the stakeholders in the administration of justice. The Office of DPP, her crowns, those were the persons we engaged in the consultation because they are the persons familiar with the administration and some of the shortcomings with the current structure.
After the break, preparations are underway for the visit of the Mexican president over the weekend. And Tradewinds 2020 kicks off in Belize. But first, here's a look at the latest COVID-19 figures.
¿Necesitas un proveedor de servicio móvil que te permita estar conectado con una cobertura LTE rápida y confiable en cualquier instante y desde cualquier lugar? ¿Quieres hablar con tu familia? ¿Compartir tus experiencias con alguien especial? ¿Administrar tu pequeña empresa? Para todo lo que necesites te mereces la mejor experiencia móvil. Ahora puedes hacer mucho más con los planes de datos postpago aumentados de Digi. Puedes disfrutar de 8 GB de datos en cualquier instante por tan solo $55 mensuales. O puedes compartir hasta 120 GB con 6 de tus amigos más cercanos. Estos son más datos LTE para que disfrutes durante el día, por las noches y los fines de semana sin restricciones. Disfruta a lo máximo con más datos para llamadas y mensajes ilimitados en todos los planes postpago de Digi. Visita la tienda Digi más cercana para inscribirte hoy. Solo necesitas una identificación válida y un comprobante de domicilio. Únete a la red de mayor velocidad y cobertura en Belice. Para más información visita nuestra página web www.livedigi.com o envíanos un mensaje a través de WhatsApp o Facebook. Digi, nuestra telecomunicación nacional.
Compostable plastics. To understand what a compostable plastic is, we need to know that composting is a natural way to recycle decomposed organic material like oranges or banana peels. So, a compostable plastic is similar to the banana peel in the sense that it also undergoes biological decomposition in a compost site and doesn't leave any toxic residue. In fact, it breaks down into carbon dioxide, water, inorganic compounds, and biomass at a similar rate of compostable materials. This is great because once properly disposed of, compostable plastic food packaging would be broken down in a manner much kinder to the environment compared to plastics. The recycled materials would return to Earth quickly and safely as soil when disposed of in the right environmental conditions and temperatures. It's important to note that for decomposition to occur, all compostable products must reach a sanitary landfill where there is proper management of the waste through disposal and treatment. Click on the link below to see what you can do to help end the nightmare of single-use plastics. I'm Alison Castillo, and now you know.
Belize.
We live in a world obsessed with the latest trends, fashions, and lifestyles, setting unrealistic expectations and wanting to alter everything about ourselves. How is this affecting our self-worth? What if we were able to silence all the noise and focus on what really matters? Join us right here for Sagebrush Church as we begin our new series, Identity Theft, where we will discuss how to live in a world with ever-changing standards of perfection.
What is the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine? The Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine is an RNA vaccine that triggers our immune system to develop antibodies against the SARS-CoV-2 virus that causes COVID-19. It helps to reduce hospitalization, severity of the disease, and death. What is the Pfizer vaccine made of, and is it safe? The Pfizer vaccine is made up of mRNA messenger ribonucleic acid, which are molecules that carry the genetic information needed to make proteins, lipids, salts, and sugar. It is safe for persons 12 years and older and does not contain the COVID-19 virus, hence cannot cause infection. Tests have shown that the vaccine is effective against current virus variants. Who should take the Pfizer vaccine? The Pfizer vaccine should be taken by persons 12 years of age and older who do not have severe allergic reaction after a previous dose of vaccine or have not had severe allergic reaction to any ingredient of this vaccine. 2 doses of the vaccine are required 3 weeks apart. If you are between the ages of 12 and 17 years, you are required to present a signed consent form before you are vaccinated. What are the side effects of the Pfizer vaccine? Some common side effects of the Pfizer vaccine are headache, fatigue, muscle pain, fever, chills, and swelling at the injection site. If side effects persist, contact your doctor as soon as possible. Does the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine prevent infection and transmission? No, vaccination alone does not prevent infection and transmission. We are still required to continue to wear masks properly, physically distance, wash and sanitize hands often, practice proper coughing and sneezing hygiene, and avoid crowds.
Mexican President Andrés Manuel López Obrador is arriving in Belize on Saturday, May 7th, for an official visit during which he will meet with Prime Minister John Briceño. The 65th President of Mexico arrives at the Philip Golson International Airport at 11:30 a.m. and from there proceeds by motorcade to the Leng Building, where he will call on PM Briceño and officials from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. A joint press statement will be delivered shortly before 2 o'clock ahead of his departure for the PGIA around 4 p.m. The arrival, as well as the press brief, will be carried live on News 5's Facebook page. Tradewinds 2022 will be held from May 7th to the 21st and will see approximately 1,800 military men from 20 nations across the Caribbean and elsewhere converge in Belize and Mexico. The Caribbean-focused regional security exercise is to develop military capacity in terms of land, air, sea, and cybersecurity of the participating forces from these countries. U.S. Southern Command sponsors Tradewinds, and according to a release from the U.S. Embassy in Belize, this is the 5th time that Belize is hosting. It did back in 1998, then 2007, 2010, and 2015. But Mexico is co-hosting this year since land activities will be held in Belize, while Mexico is holding the naval exercise activities over the 2 weeks. Southcom's Director of Exercises and Coalition Affairs, Kevin Bostic, spoke to News 5 about the interagency exercise.
Tradewinds is a combined, joint, and interagency exercise that's been happening in the Southcom and the Western Hemisphere for the last 37 years. you'll have about 1,900 troops on the ground from 22 different countries. And with that, they'll be doing marine ops, water operations, patrolling, small unit ops, humanitarian assistance and disaster relief type training, a bunch of different things to make sure that we as the Southern Command partner with the countries in the region to build partner capacity and be able to better, strengthen the partnerships between us. And in the end, one of the big things when you do this, it helps counter the transnational criminal organizations and the VEO threats.
Aside from strengthening partnership within the region, chief among the objectives is to expand the region's capacity to mitigate, plan for, and respond to crises, including transnational crimes such as the illegal drug trade from South America into the U.S. In the past year alone, we have been reporting on numerous drug plane tracks to this area. Some landed in Belize, while others ended up in neighboring Guatemala and Mexico. Southcom Director of Exercises and Coalition Affairs, Kevin Bostic, says that following Tradewinds 2022, Belize will be better able to counter these threats.
In Southern Command, we have 3 lines of effort that our commander and Command Sergeant Major have us as a team, pretty much we live by day to day. Strengthening partnerships, building our team, and then countering TCO threats. And with that, strengthening partnership, the old verbiage, there's unity in numbers. So nobody can do what needs to be done in the Western Hemisphere in this region by themselves. So when you're part of the team, then you can line up side by side and cross-fertilize, cross-talk, cross-communicate, and help each other where you may not be able to stop those transnational criminal organizations and narco threats, narco trafficking threats by yourself. At the same token, when we try to build the team, a lot of times, yes, it is focused at the Southcom team alone, but the second phase of that is when we walk away from here and start preparing for Tradewinds 23, Belize will be better, well able to support themselves and also have built their partner network, made it even stronger to be able to help counter those threats.
Southcom Director Kevin Bostic also spoke about safety protocols for the 1,900 military personnel who will be participating in the exercise. In 2020, Tradewinds was canceled due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Nonetheless, Bostic says that they've been able to put in place guidelines to ensure the safety of all participants.
Near and dear to everybody's heart is the COVID protocols. So folks are coming in, we're being tested, we understand that, I'll even go back to last year. Last year was the first time we had a Tradewinds, and we did it in Guyana in June of last year, 1,400 from 18 different countries. And I will tell you, we had not one COVID protocol, not one COVID positive due to the exercise itself. People are tested, people are given the vaccines. When we're in the formations, we're doing a lot of stuff outside so that, in which they're training in the field sites. If we're in classrooms, then you have doors open, you have circulation. We're doing everything possible to make sure, one, that the individuals from all these countries that are participating stay safe. Two, that we don't cause any problems inside their country or Belize. And three, that doing all of that, which takes a lot of all hands on deck, a lot of medical professionals, because we'll have those folks here as well from Southern Command headquarters, that will also team with the ones on the ground to make sure, hey, this is what we need to do, this is how we need to do it, this is when we need to do it, and we're going to do our very best to make sure all the people coming in do not deviate from what has to happen to keep Belize safe.
The first Development Partners Forum, marking the start of government's effort to establish a transparent mechanism for collaboration with its development partners, was held today in Placencia Village. The event saw the participation of representatives from the Ministry of Economic Development and from the Inter-American Development Bank and the European Union. The mechanism is part of government's Plan Belize development strategy. Just ahead, a look at this weekend's Mother's Day celebration. But first, here's a weather update with data from the Belize Met Service.
This May will be amazing at Benny's. Get amazing deals and great gifts from Mom. We have Pyrex Bakeware, Chicago Cutlery Knife Sets, Corningware, Snapware, and the elegant yet durable Coral Dinnerware Sets at amazing prices. Check out our impressive line of Sankey appliances and much, much more. Take advantage of these amazing deals all May long, only at Benny's, celebrating 75 years of quality and savings.
Download the SmartStream app on the Android Play Store and create your account to get access to movies and stream at home or on the go. Prepaid customers can purchase regular data packages or get a discounted rate on a special SmartStream package by dialing 7737. Postpaid customers will be billed monthly. Never miss a movie again with SmartStream.
Applying for a Social Security sickness benefit? Here's what you need to know. A complete claims package includes 1. Sickness claim form fully completed by the claimant and medical doctor. 2. Salaries record form completed by the employer or HR representative. 3. Proof of bank account such as bank book, online banking, or statement displaying your name and account number. To submit via email, you need to take a clear photo or scan of the documents and email to claims@socialsecurity.org.bz. Be sure to include your full name, social security number, and benefit type in the subject line of the email. Or you can drop off all completed forms into the Dropbox slot at the nearest branch office. Deadline to submit is 14 days from your first day of illness. All forms are available on the website at www.socialsecurity.org.bz. Social Security Board, safeguarding you, your family, your future.
It is 2 days away from Mother's Day, and today, downtown Belize City was bustling with shoppers making those last-minute purchases for the #1 woman in their lives. Whether it is flowers, jewelry, a day at the spa, the options are numerous. News 5 asked some residents how they were going to celebrate for Mother's Day.
To the fullest, because, well, we'll get rid of COVID as we see it, and we don't have any wars or anything. We're free, we're in paradise, so we have to do, at me, I'm 73 years old, so we have to live it, you know. You have to do it while you can live, you know.
So all the family coming together?
All my families, everybody's, you know, okay. Doing a wonderful Mother's Day, blessed day.
Well, my mother isn't here. My mother is living abroad, but she's always in my heart, you know. And just to celebrate, well, I just want to do a little eating and stay at home, you know. Try to keep away from the COVID too, because, you know, gone. And that's just it for me. Keep it low and mellow.
But I'll tell you to buy something.
I care of my Bessie because she's a mother as well, so I'm taking her to buy her a Mother's Day present.
First of all, I don't have a mom anymore. She passed away like
about 7 years now, so I don't have a mom right now. But for Mother's Day, I'm going to take away from anybody. I also want a happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there, the single moms, the dads, where they work, do as a mom. Happy Mother's Day. But for me, I don't know if because I get older, it's not that I don't care, but my priority first is my bills.
Well, I want to bake a cake for my mom and just make her some nice sweet food to eat. And I want to give her some money because I'm working right now, so it's good to give her something back from how I'm working.
Is it hard to think about what you get your mother?
Not really, because I know my mom, so I know what she likes and stuff, so I can get her stuff that she likes.
It's kind of difficult because she doesn't really need anything but just jewelry, cook for her, a spotty.
So you already have everything set?
Yes, I have everything set.
I don't know what I want. Like, she like accessories like jewelries and everything. So I don't know what I get her. Our card. So I will leave coffee mug with the name.
So you don't buy that and everything you done already?
But you can't make it see because you know.
So give her a shout out, I guess.
Hi Ma, if you see this, happy Mother's Day and I hope you enjoy your gift. And thank you for being the best mom ever.
Speaking about finding that perfect gift for your mother, Mayor Bernard Wagner today issued Mother's Day gifts to those women city councilors who are mothers. He shares that while his mother is not with him at this time, he always wants to give back in her honor.
I just give Mother's Day chairs and a small gift to my councillors that are mothers. That is, I believe, Deanne Rikenya, Stefan Hamilton, as well as Natasha. I gave some of the staff members that are mothers on the 3rd floor, and we do have some cakes and other little goodies for some of our mothers here. So Mother's Day is special for many people, especially for me. I lost my mom many years ago in 2013, and so being able to recognize your mother, I believe, is very important. Personally, for me, it gets me all emotional in given the fact that my mother and myself were very close.
It was conceived out of the idea of making the city competitive in its products and to encourage residents to buy at home instead of heading over the border to Chetumal. The downtown super sale began pre-COVID, but came to a screeching halt when the pandemic hit. 2 years later, the super sale is back and bigger than ever. With a zone for kids, food court, entertainment zone, and a spot for entrepreneurs, Mayor Bernard Wagner says that it is timely.
It's a day where it's not only for one side of the equation, that the residents have the opportunity to get some savings, get some deals, save some money, and get all your needs that you need as a family. But at the same time, the business owners get an opportunity to not have to wait until the months of October, November, December. Those are the high sale months for most of the businesses in Belize. But now you have the opportunity to enjoy some major sales in the month of May, June, July, August. So at the end of the day, it is spread. There are many zones. We have the established business zone where those traditional business houses, the Hofels, the Brodies, the Downtown Plaza, they are residents here on Albert Street. We have a beauty care zone, we have a kids zone, we have an entertainment zone, we have a food court zone, and we also have a zone where our young entrepreneurs, people could visit that area and really see what they are doing and how they are contributing to our local economy. That is important. Yeah, it's huge. When we did the first announcement, and my PR team said the cars that they got in the first week was over 75 confirmed businesses participating. That has since swelled to over 100 plus business, young entrepreneurs, people seeking to drive sales into their area. So we are really enthused about tomorrow. We are looking forward to having that area. And a city a city is not just the tall buildings and the business community. You have to bring life to your city, and I think this occasion give us an opportunity to bring life into our city.
Mar Alliance has been carrying out research on various shark species for the last 15 years across the nation's waters. Currently, the organization is conducting its studies off Half Moon Cay, located on the southern corner of Lighthouse Reef Atoll. In recent years, Dr. Rachel Graham, the director and founder of Mar Alliance, and her team have witnessed a significant increase in the shark population after recording a concerning decline a decade ago. They have taken note of the return of species like the lemon shark. And while these are encouraging statistics, the shark population in Belize remains under threat from overfishing and pollution. One of the processes used to gather information on the shark population is known as the long line method, an exercise where the sharks are hooked, tagged, measured, and released. News 5 accompanied the Mar Alliance team off Half Moon Cay today on one of their research exercises.
We caught 4 sharks today. In fact, you know, we have such an amazing team. We have this incredible alliance with fishers and guides and fisheries. We all caught actually 7 sharks in total and 1 big loggerhead turtle to put a satellite tag on. But right with this boat, 4 sharks. A couple of females, couple of males. So what we caught just a few minutes ago, we caught 4 Caribbean reef sharks. They're probably the second most common type of shark in the Caribbean, but they've really been hit very hard by overfishing in the past few years, I'd say 10, 20 years, but they're really coming back, and we're starting to see them come back in a big way in Lighthouse and Turneff and other places. So we're very excited about that because they mean a lot for Belize's tourism, and also they keep the coral reef really, really healthy. But what did we see? We see a lot of juveniles today on the west side. This is a really good sign. You know, we definitely want those adults, and we're hoping we're going to be catching some adults. But juveniles, you know, that's the next gen. That's our future of our sharks. We try email and WhatsApp, but they don't respond to WhatsApp and email. You know, they're very inconsiderate, what can I say? So unfortunately, we do have to catch them with hooks. We use circular hooks because we want to try and mouth catch them. We also put in the lines for a very short period of time because we don't want to stress out the sharks. Once we catch a shark, we keep it in the water. We like to keep it in the water because it's a lot less stress that way. You know, you see a lot of the times on the big channels, you see them hauling out the sharks and everything. We don't like to do that so much. We can keep them in the water, keep them happy, and we move very quickly. Our team is incredible. They work fast. They're like a well-oiled machine. Everybody knows what to do. Measure. You take a little fin clip sample for population analysis. You then get it ready for the conventional tag. And if it's a kind of shark that we really want to be able to tag with a satellite tag, which is a lot more expensive, like a great hammerhead, which is critically endangered, or a lemon shark, which we've not seen very much of, but we really want to know more about, then we'll be putting on one of these satellite tags, which it'll transmit up to the satellite and tell us basically where it has been in its journey as a shark.
Mar Alliance's shark research is a team effort involving several partner agencies like the Belize Audubon Society. We spoke with Marty Alvarez, the Marine Protected Area Manager at the Belize Audubon Society, about the collaborative effort in pooling resources and using the data collected to carry out operations. Here is what he told us.
Well, of course, they use the island here at Half Moon Cay. One of the main things that we found out that the information that they gave us is that there are the highest density of sharks in Belize. And of course, the most common being the Caribbean reef shark, right? So that ties into what we do with our patrols, meaning that we conduct surveillance and enforcement patrols, and that basically correlates to the amount of sharks that we see. So we aid them in providing lodging accommodations, and of course resources. We pull together vessels if needs be, and of course getting valuable information from them. Belize Audubon Society is a non-governmental organization, the oldest conservation organization in Belize. So basically we have 50 years plus of protected areas management. So all the information that we do get from other partners are fed into the management of the zone and of course Blue Hole as well.
A memorandum of understanding was signed between the National Fire Service and Southern Emergency Services near Hopkins Village. The agreement seeks to provide wholesome coverage to Hopkins for fire and other medical emergencies through the housing of a fire truck and cross-training of the firefighters and their medical team in that area. Up next, Sabrina heads to La Isla Bonita for animal care on the bright side. More on this when we return.
Download the SmartStream app on the Android Play Store and create your account to get access to movies and stream at home or on the go. Prepaid customers can purchase regular data packages or get a discounted rate on a special SmartStream package by dialing 7737. Postpaid customers will be billed monthly. Never miss a movie again with SmartStream.
And Messi is standing over this. Messi.
Great entertainment stays with you, and we bring you great entertainment. Next Gen, the ultimate digital experience.
Tonight on The Bright Side, Sabrina traveled to Ambergris Caye, where she visited an animal rescue shelter in San Pedro. If you are a dog lover, the following story is for you. Here's a look at a community effort on the island to provide a home for abandoned pets.
Ambergris Caye is arguably the most popular tourist destination in Belize, heavily favored by foreigners and locals alike. Bounded by relaxing beaches, San Pedro's urban appeal makes for an ideal blend of work and relaxation. But where the town grows with visitors and residents, so does the plague of animal cruelty and abandonment.
There were 7 of us who were very concerned about the animal population on this island. This was in March of 1999 we were established because of the overall health of the population and because there was so much parvo and distemper running rampant on the island. We knew that there was a need for veterinary services and for some education for people.
The mission of San Pedro Saga Humane Society is to promote kindness and prevent animal cruelty.
These are some new kittens we just got in.
Its founder, Eileen Jameson, says the initiative is a community effort.
We really rely on the community for a lot of our, for the notifications of animals in need. And we all live in different parts of the island too, so we see as we travel to work and other places, animals who need help. Right now we have 30 dogs and 40 cats. We've had as many as 70 cats and 55 dogs.
It's a labor of love, one that Ingrid Lima, Saga's veterinary technician, knows all about.
Since young age, I feel inside of me that I want to help. And you could help in any different ways, help kids, but animals doesn't have any voice. They don't choose to come to this world. So we're here, we're the voice of the voiceless, and that's my passion. We have several cases that you can imagine. And then one of those was this dog tied 24/7, no food, no water. And when we went there and rescued this dog, it was too late for this dog. and we need to put him euthanized. You know, those cases hit my heart, hit all that you have inside, and that's why we're here, to fight for them.
Really research what you need to do to have a healthy animal, because there's so many unhealthy animals, and they're just like unhealthy humans. They're not happy. And to get a dog for your yard just to protect you is we really don't encourage that, because dogs are pack animals. Just like humans, they need other animals or other humans around them, and they need care, they need compassion, they need love, they need cuddles, they need, you know, grooming, just like a human does. They're just like humans in that respect.
And beside the much-needed access to healthcare for these animals, Saga enforces animal health education to know how to best care for your pets.
It's come a long way with education. We've had an education program. It's not current, but we have really made strides with informing people of how to care for their animals. And now they see their neighbor's animal is in much better condition than theirs, and they're wondering, what can I do to make my animal look that healthy? And so once somebody brings it to our attention, then we send out Noemi, who's our animal rescuer, I guess we would call it. She's got a real rapport with the animals, and so she will go, and Walter, who's our other animal expert, they will go and pick it up. They'll bring it in. Ingrid, who is our veterinary technician, will assess it and see what its needs are, do basic first aid on it, and give it a quiet place to stay. In the other room you saw all the animals who are recovering. There was quite a few. And we have that as an isolation room when they're under treatment, so that they're not around all the other animals, to keep infection from spreading and things like that.
So, if you've done your research and feel it's time to have a furry friend, consider adoption shelters around you before purchasing an animal.
I will encourage the community before to go and buy an animal, go and visit the shelter. We have more than 5 humane societies that rescue animals in all Belize. Go there. Don't go and buy a dog when we have more than 100 dogs in Belize that need home. Before they go in adoption, we train them housebreaking, how they could walk in leash, how they could good behavior, you know. And so before that, our animals go very training by the expert catamaran.
And the best part about looking for a pet at a shelter, they're also looking for you too. Looking on the bright side, I'm Sabrina Daly.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available in both text and streaming video at channel5belize.com. You can also connect with us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/News5Live. I'm Annalyn Apollonia. Thanks for joining us, and from all of us here at News 5, please remember to wash your hands, keep your social distance, and stay safe. Good night.